So, hi everyone. We're going to get started now. So my name is Barry Heidowitz. I'm the Director of Education Labs here at Extreme Labs. If you have any questions, please feel free to key them in the chat. Beyond that, we will be recording this webinar and it will be accessible later on. And with that, I'll hand it over to Javier. Thanks, Javier. Oh, yeah. And if you have questions, yeah, please type them in the QA section or in the chat, and then Javier can address them as needed. And then what I'll also do is I'll put contact info. If there are any questions about the content or the webinar, we can also address any questions that way too. So thanks, Javier. Go ahead.
And, thank you very much. Okay, thank you very much, Barry, for your attention, and thanks everybody for your interest in this webinar that we are going to hold. It's going to be up in the next 50 minutes. We will talk about how to improve productivity, how we can get profit of these new technologies, and just not only as an individual, but how our organization can increase their quality of their outcomes, and how our customers are going to be more satisfied with this information. Regarding this point, I would like just to give some points. We are a company. We are as a partner of Extreme Labs. Yes. We are a partner with Extreme Labs long time ago. We are a company. I held a company that is working in different projects of AI, how to increase this productivity, not only in one person with learning with one course, but how to push throughout all the organization. That this is very important, because artificial intelligence and generative artificial intelligence is not only a matter of one person; it's a matter of the whole company, the whole organization. So we are boosting these actions with in different areas, such as engineering companies or tourism, hotel companies, hospitality. So very important is that artificial intelligence, in terms of generative artificial intelligence, is something that helps everybody and all organizations. We are very proud to be a partner of Extreme Labs as a customer in the beginning of our activities, and actually as a partner that we can share our developments, our contents, and our experiences throughout the different markets. Actually, we are working in different geographical areas, and what we would like to talk today is about how we can save time, how we can increase all these actions in our own company. And the workplace is changing. We have an explosion of tools and solutions. How we can use them, how we can increase our quality of work, how we can give more flexibility, increasing the quality of the work, and how we can use Gen AI. And this is a very important situation, because we want to get more engagement with our customers and our employees, and we need to increase and improve our performance. So how all these companies, as Brad Smith or Thomas Kurian have been told me in last months, all these investments the big companies are doing for improving in these technologies, and how can embrace these technologies in our own persons and our organizations. As we are pushing through these new technologies, we see that artificial intelligence tools is not only for Gen Z, but we see that boomers are as well adapting and bringing these technologies, because it's very, very important how AI can create productivity gains. We can make the investment. Actually, one of the issues is that we need the tools and we have to do the investment in the tools, but we must be focused on how we can get these productivity gains. For example, it's not in something practical to invest in giving access and make a big investment in licenses to provide these licenses to all the company. First, it's much more important to make an study and a process of advisory process that increases these productivity gains. In our work, in our projects, we see how it's very much important to start with managers and start previously with points such as security issues and compliance, data compliance points, rather than start with providing all the licenses to the employees. But AI is giving a lot of interest to the users. In the very beginning, some people were scared about what AI was going to provide. But we see with maybe close to 1 year and a half of different companies that are using these technologies, that the satisfaction is really high. But let's see how we can work with that, with the most important, the pillars. What I think about in our projects and our team, our technical team, as a business case. We have one point, which is productivity, and it's how to save time, how to increase our quality, how to improve the engagement. But this is not only one of the only one, the big point. The big point too, the second pillar is how we can increase and improve our business services, how we can give value to legal, to HR, marketing, how we can increase our qualitative input in the service of the company, not only in our productivity. And of course, what we need to do, and the pillar that is absolutely necessary, is the financial model, how we can justify ROI, payback, and cash flow, which is the one of the most important tools that are making the generative AI accessible to all users. As you know, I'm sure about that, is Microsoft and the copilots of Microsoft. The first approach was to be a copilot as an assistant. Which is something to help us to increase our productivity. We will see some samples and some demos in this presentation. The second way was how to use generative learning as a team, not only as an individual, but how we can approach with our team and how we can collaborate and how we can increase our work with this Copilot as team, not only with Microsoft Teams Copilot, of course, but how all the team can increase that. Because if I increase my productivity, but the group of people that I am working with is not using that, the ROI and the impact of this technology is not really the best. So we need to to be always focused not only in using as individuals, but how our team is going to do it. Regarding that, we are working with agents, which is the point that is Copilot, that we are working with them, and we are actually activating as a solution, as an agent. Okay. About how we can take the time that can be saved. We see that we have different saving times from the customers meetings. We can save, maybe these are some of the data that we can in analysis of different studies in the work trend index analysis. We see here time save 42 4 minutes, 25, 35, 43. And here we see which are the most try first with Copilot, which are the foundational skills for new users. Recap, give me some, summarize, help me. All these actions that, for example, using the different tools that Microsoft Copilot, Microsoft 365 Copilot is has in their own schedule. Has the recap a meeting, or we can see here with Teams that it's very helpful for groups of people, and we can use we can summarize a meeting without having to have someone who has to do that. We can attend to different meetings in the same time, since we can go to we can prioritize one of the meetings, but we can be later on we can access to the meeting, and we can ask what is going on has passed in the meeting, which are the most important points, which are the different actions that we can get, etc. Here we see how we can do translation of messages, of course, with Copilot, and we can get Copilot for many different solutions. Here we see that Word or Copilot or Teams or Outlook could be most of the most important ones in the very beginning. But once you have already used them, you will see that Copilot is in much more other tools in most of the solutions that Microsoft 365 has actually. In this, we can see how not only we can increase our productivity, saving time and quality, but of course we can help quality of work. Not only is regarding how we can improve the productivity, how we can be more time with customers, we can help, and we can, with the time that we have free using Copilot. But of course, we can do. Some companies are developing what they say the productivity recapture, which is time develop on well-being, training, work-life balance, personal development. This is one of the actions that companies are using. There are different business cases. There are different ideas of how we can get ROI, how we can adapt, these actions, and how we can start. We can see the assumptions. It depends on the people, on the worker, which is the average executive time, the manager that is saving time, which is the cost for the company, and how they can is in a salary average. These different companies can see, for example, here that we have an average of ROI of 390%, which is something that if we are comparing with other projects, such as robotic process automation or cloud computing, which ROI are closer to 100% or 150%. These projects are doubling, are is the, twice or three times the usual ROI projects in technology. That means that the payback can be in 4 months, which is something really it was not expected by the investors that these technologies were going to give a payback so fast. This is why most of the organizations and persons are focusing on these technologies. But with Microsoft technologies, especially with Copilot, we are seeing that there are many different solutions that are increasing and are helping organizations with the core value scenarios. But the business values is now here, and they expect that it's going to go much higher. This is because we are now focusing more in the individual value with the generic skills, what we can do with Copilot. In our training courses, in our contents, we develop all these skills, how the individuals can improve or can increase. But then we have departmental value, which is very important for these skills, and organization value, which is the third level. No? This is something that for us is very important because we think that in the future, the really successful companies are going to be not only the ones that their individuals are using a generic AI activities or the departments, but as well how they can develop their own business copilots, or they can increase their different solutions with these department value ideas. Now, how we can do it in finance level, sales level, IT, operations, marketing, or human resources. We can see here, for example, how we can improve meetings and content creation in the executive area, summarize information, generate new ideas for our businesses, how we can help people in the finance department, giving information of how we can ask directly to the ERP systems with our natural language prompts. As you are aware, natural language is the base of the AI, generative AI, which is the real success of this technology is that we are able to communicate with the data, with the technology, with our organization, and with our technologies, and we don't have to create any query or any development. Just with a common language, with natural language, we can do many things that just 2 years ago it was impossible to do with just with a formal conversation with some words. Okay. And of course, how to measure our company and our trainings. One of the targets is how we can train people and how we can measure this impact. It's very important to have an information of this scenario, the impact of this scenario, how the costs, efficiencies, avoidance, and growth. Okay, so this is very important to get KPIs, how we can with the organization, with the people that we are working with, how we can work with KPIs, for example, in terms of sales, revenue per sale, how to close rate, number of opportunities, onboarding time, customer retention, how we can do marketing, lead generation, or a new product time to market. How, if we apply artificial intelligence, how we can increase or which are our targets, and how we can measure KPIs that are going to help us when we are using artificial intelligence tools, generative artificial intelligence tools that help us if we can measure and we can see the results. If we don't see the results, all these projects are not helpful. So first of all, we need to check with the organization which are going to be their KPIs and how they can help us in order to increase the results. Otherwise, we are not able to help. We are not going to be. We are going to invest in a new technology, but we are not going to be able to check the results. Okay, where are we going to use? Are we going to use it in which area we need? Some companies and scenarios with Microsoft 365 are, of course, in sales is one of the key points in our strategy. So our salespeople, our sales managers, our CEOs, our financial managers that are leading with sales issues, all these actions will be very important for the development of generative AI. Like we do here, we can see the tasks that Microsoft can generate customized business plan templates, and we can based on the client's industry, can provide us suggestions how to improve the plans, how we can increase the quality of our catalogs, of product catalogs. As well, we can use it in terms of marketing research and analyze how we can provide suggestions, interpreting data, drawing insights, or writing sales proposals. Here we see all this information, and we can see here as well how we can do all this data. We can start here writing in sales excellence, writing emails or summaries, doing summaries, transcriptions, or in terms of sales excellence. But two, we can use it in sales management, how we can create plans of sales, how can increase. For example, one of the very interesting points that we have with artificial intelligence is what we have to create from scratch, from a new document. For example, we have to create a new sales plan or a new strategies for a new product. All the time that we are investing in creating these ideas and creating the document, we can get is a real accelerator and very helpful tool, generative AI, to increase all these new documents, all these new processes, and the creativity of the organizations. Other action, for example, is in legal, no? Other area that we are seeing a lot of interest, and many companies and legal companies are using, is regarding documents. We see helps, for example, in our Copilot courses, we see different samples, how to use, how to make a summary of one law, and how we can ask to this law, and how we can be helped by generative artificial intelligence tools, and how we can create our contract management, or we can make a summary of any law that new legal activities, new legal actions. Many law firms are using for improving the quality of their activities at court, and they can read. Other very powerful tool is that we can read much faster all the information that in the past we can save tons of time of reading because the system reads much faster and make summaries in a very high quality standard, and can help us, for example, to test contracts for readability, clarity, or simplicity. We see here all the different actions that Copilot can do working with this solution. And when we are using Microsoft Copilot, we should see that we have as well a dashboard with Viva Insights we can use for companies. And this is not only a tool for individuals, as we say, we are talking about a tool for companies, so we need to know how our staff is using the technology, how they are activating, which are the active Copilot users, which is the rate of adoption, or which is the level of readiness, how they are using meetings, how they can get Teams users, Teams chat users, or Copilot search users. Okay, so it's very important here, for example, Microsoft Copilot dashboard, how they can get adoption with licensed employees, and not only this is another point very important for when we are going to do training activities is we have to be involved in the adoption project. It's better to make the whole project from the beginning, because we can start with all the adoption activities and see how companies are using, which persons are doing, the different groups and the different teams, how they are adopting faster, or which group with this kind of tools are very interesting in Microsoft Copilot dashboard to know what is the aim of all these activities. We see here, for example, the Copilot, the meetings, the images that are using. So regarding the value for the Copilot, which is the assistant, we need to check not only for the value, as we see, to be more productive, to increase productivity. We have seen already these advantages, but as well in the workflow, in the daily basis, in our activity daily basis, how we can use it, if processing emails, for instance, how we can increase our quality, how we can increase the content writing, or how we can start with analyzing data, technical and financial data. Here we see value by role function. Two, how we can adapt. It's not the same to use Microsoft Copilot for a financial manager than a CEO or one salesperson. It's absolutely very important to adapt to the persona type. This is why we have our support group, and this is why we are working with different companies, and we are activating actually with the group of professionals adapting to human resources departments, or to financial or legal roles. Okay, so most of the processes, if we compare, are similar. No? Summarize, create about the role, how we can work with that. And the first point is how to use each person. No? We have here some companies that are using their artificial intelligence solutions. For example, financial companies. They are working with Copilot tools, and they are working, for example, with Copilot for developers. It's not Microsoft 365 Copilot, because we have many different tools from Copilot, but this is GitHub, no? So with GitHub, Copilot helps group of developers increase 52% of productivity as an average. and it's already measured because this is, as you may know, the first. This is the origin of all the development of Copilot technologies based on OpenAI. Because of this, the first investment that Microsoft has done in OpenAI to increase their productivity in developing with the tools that OpenAI have for increasing the productivity of their programmers using open AI intelligence, artificial intelligence with natural language tools. And then we have daily tasks that manage daily tasks with Copilot with another bank, which is other company, which is a very important law company in Europe, is doing that with legal documents preparation, different scenarios, working with productivity. This different solutions are held for companies, but then we have as well how we can use it by individuals. How we can use it. We can do it, for example, in meetings. We can do it in summaries, in trends. We can create presentations. We can do another option. Very interesting option is the summaries and the search of information. We can help, for example, with all the tools that can be with emails. You know, we can help some samples that we can use now. For example, is if we do, for example, with a company, and we can for example use or make resumes of our messages. We are working with the email, and we can working with the email. If we have, first of all, we have to have the license, okay? But we have here that, for example, for instance, we have an email that we have received, and the very first action we can use with Copilot is do a summary. How we can start with a summary, and we can combining the information. And when we do that, we can see how the information, instead of having to read all the information, we can check a small here a summary. What has happened, who has worked in this email, and how we can work with this, and we are going to save time. Instead of us to read all the information, we have this option of doing summaries. Now, Copilot is working in different actions. If we continue with a sample of Outlook, we see here, for example, we can see here that we have Copilot in this option. It's just an option. We have draft. We can use it as, or we can do it as coaching. No? We can, for example, make a sample of a message. We can write a message here, and I have written that. I'm not sure if this is okay. I think it's not really. We need coaching. I need help. I need help because I don't know if this message is okay. And the person that is going to receive this information, if a message that is not correct, or maybe. So what we are going to do is talk to my assistant. We are going to ask to my assistant, and we're going to say, hello, coaching by Copilot. We need this. Giving me different help or different suggestions, such as let's see if the tone is better because it's too direct, and we can as well not only know which is how I am written that, but we have how to increase the mutual understanding or the reader sentiment. Is giving us information of how we can do it better in this point, or as well in clarity, we can do to use clarity points and giving suggestions how we can activate, how we can improve this message. So, we can using these assistants in different areas. For example, gathering insights in other points, and of course, all this information later on, it can be helped with that, and we can try, for example, um, to create a draft with our original. We don't know, and we can try to do this in different options. We can get the tone more direct, more neutral, more casual. We can find it as formal and do it so long, so we can generate the message with our first content, or if we have already seen the suggestions, we can change this content. We don't have all the information, but here we see, or maybe we think it's too long, so we are doing shorter. So we are going to help it, and we will do it in this draft in shorter term to try to get it better. And maybe we think we can do it more formal, because we see it's too direct, or we don't know the person. We need to do it better. So in general terms, here we see how we can send an image, and how we can do it much faster than trying to write it, try to read all the line of messages that has been working, and how we can increase our action. So this is one of the samples. So we can save time, we can save quality, we can increase our quality of communication with all our partners, customers, and stockholders, all the persons that we need to communicate. So we are really this is a very simple simple sample that but very useful in order to know what can we do with these tools in order to increase our time and improve our quality of work, and have more time to do different things, not only boring and repetitive activities, but we can be focused on much more productive activities, okay, as we see here. And which is the average? It depends. We can save 10 hours per month, but maybe we can save much more. It depends on which are our activities. If we are, for example, documenting, if we are doing all the documentation of the development of one program, of for the programmers, that they have to document all their programs. If we use GitHub, we are not going to save only 10 hours. We will save maybe 50 or 80 hours. If we are in the legal department and we are the ones who have to read all the new laws, and we are all our time is dedicated in reading new laws, we are going to save much more. But of course, as an average, some people are going to use it sometimes only, and the savings are not going to be. So as an average, we can think that an organization minimum average can be 10 hours. But of course, if you think about how to use it, it's going to be much more, because we are not only working on the Copilot of the Microsoft 365, as we see here, but we are, if you are working with other tools of Microsoft, you can use it, Security Copilot, and you can, of course, you can use in the Microsoft Copilot with Bing, or of course here, just not only for professionals or for individuals, we can use it in terms of for the organization with the cognitive services, with Azure OpenAI service, or with all the other different tools. So how we can increase the productivity? We can use it in the not only for the person, but for the enterprise, and how to implement in time, and as well doing defining goals, defining keys, how we can develop an employee training plan. But this plan is a plan that has to be developed with all the stakeholders, all the managers of the departments. In the generative AI resources, you have monitoring tools, and you have as well, you have to check with that, no? How we can get this adoption. We need to adopt it in the individual and company level. So these are the three main points: define a vision and identifying the scenarios, how we can train the users and leverage Copilot to increase that. The extensibility, it is another very much important point, how we are going to use it for our organization, adapting to our action. We are not only working in adapting, using as in app skills for the users, but as well how we can adapt to our organization. And how we can, we see many companies that we have passed right now that are doing the different developments. Other actions that we are thinking very important for improving the productivity with generative AI is the Copilot Studio and Azure AI Studio. With all these solutions, organizations can improve very much their work. And we can see that as well, not only, for example, if we are going to do a small, for a small service, we are seeing that as a very, as the main accelerator, the main driver to the for the organizations. For example, here we have another. We are going to finish the I would like to finish my speech with a small demo, additional demo. How, for example, humans resources manager who needs to understand different law requirements and maybe it's new in this position, or maybe it's a new law that has to understand fast, because maybe it's an act or a law that has many pages, and he doesn't have a lot of time for doing that. The only option is to ask my assistant is create a summary, to ask for a summary of a file of a law that has already be open. No, for example, we can see here, no, employee guide. So what we can do is to get, we need to know the Employee Guide Family and Medical Leave Act, that is an act that is by the US government. Okay, so I need to have information, fast information, because I need to know, and the system instead. This act is a real law act, actually, in the US. That is, as you may know, is the way of how to regulate the Leave Act for family and medical issues, and in 2 minutes has read the 24 pages and has done small as a summary, and can give us information not only as a professional, as the human resources, but as well we can ask to the law which kind of options or which kind of information we can be interested. For example, violations. No? What happens with the violations if we don't are not applying, if we are not using this law, which what will happen to the employer if we violate our FMLA rights? What is going to happen? With the problems that I can have on the litigations, and if we can see it as well here, we can ask not only for the employer, but maybe we can for the employee. What happened with the employee? Yeah. and we can ask with them. We can with natural language. For example, we can generate here, and we can ask to this law, to this act, which is a law. What happens to the employee? So, for example, now if I try to read that, maybe I am going to spend 2 hours or maybe 1 hour, and just in 2 minutes, I have done a summary, which is and they are with the main questions. This is based on the document that I can see here. This is the document. Open document here, and the document is this one. And what we do here is it is a document of 24 pages. So to open it is going to pass a little bit time, maybe 1 minute or two. And what we see is that instead of having to read all this big document, we have the real advantage of saving time and money, and of course having the real data and doing a very much interesting questions that later on maybe are going to be made by some people of my company or my boss or some employees that are asking how we are going to use it, instead of having to read all the document or having the 24 pages active. We are actually accessing that. We see here that it is about all this information, that instead of reading all these documents, we have the advantage of doing this. But maybe we have as well another point. We need to work with this document, but I am the legal part, or I have to do a presentation of that, and maybe I'm not really aware of all this information, and I don't have time, and I need to do it as soon as possible. So what we are going to do is to use PowerPoint, and we are going to use our Copilot, and we are going to have as well our time, how we can save this 10 hours. And we are going to create a presentation from a file, okay, that can be, instead of having to read all of that, having to make a summary, having to ask to our legal department, having to waste 8 hours or more, and then to check which are the main points. Maybe we can help to our assistant, to Copilot, to try to check for this information. And we are working on the 24 pages document, which is a legal, as I said, a real, an active document that actually is being used in the States for the Medical and Family Leave Act. Okay, it's a legal point. So one of the actions sometimes has to get some minutes, and the system starts to, once has read it, the 24 pages, there is an outline of the presentation. Here, this outline is working, and if I have to do that, as you should think, maybe we are going to work a long time, and we have here 23 slides about this. Okay, how we can work with that, and we see the presentation with some of them. Maybe we can see here that not all we would like to have better information, and we can we can ask them to work. We can interact with natural language. Yeah. Yeah, we can ask them add an image, for example. Maybe we can get here, and we can maybe sometimes if we are not working properly with the natural language, maybe the system can tell you that doesn't understand what you are writing. But here we see how the photograph is absolutely adapted what I have asked. I have said add an image of military family leave, and we see here how we can. It's a soldier, you see, with absolutely adapted with this point. No, we can as well make work with the system, animate the slide. You can. You can use it, and you can work with the system, and you can see how this is working, and we can do many things with our generative AI. As I am finishing my my speech about the this how to save 10 hours. I think with the information that I have already pointed out, is clear that if we can use properly the generative AI solutions, we are going to be able to do faster activities, better tasks, more creative, and we need to adapt it. And of course, we need training. We need as well a plan to adapt it. But we think it's very much interesting, and we advise you to really think on how to move forward this technology that is helping millions of people and adapting to the new solutions. If you have any question, please let us know. I would like to tell that most people that wanted to work from Extreme Labs, all the contacts and companies that are working with Extreme Labs can have there is a special offer from the people that have already been part of this webinar, and this offer can be advised by Extreme Labs. Okay, all the options that you have. And if you need any more information, please let us know here in our support. We have in support or as well support and info at namforiberica.com. So thank you very much for your attention, and thank you for your time. If you need anything else, please let us know. There is any question?
Thank you, Javier. I'm not seeing any questions yet. We'll give a few minutes and then close it. But yeah, if anybody has questions about the content, training material on Copilot AI that's available through Extreme Labs, you can refer to myself. So I'll put my contact info in the chat. Great. And then I'll also put so here we go. There is the general sales department. You can answer questions through there. You can email me directly. My email address. Any questions about the content? I can also reach out to Gary and his team on your behalf. One question that I had, Javier. So I know that we have a lot of very good self-paced training material available from NAN4, and I wondered if NAN4 has any plans to provide or create and provide instructor-led versions of the same content if that's in the pipeline.
Yes, this is something that we are having as a demand increasingly. As you may know, precisely through Extreme Labs, we are focused on giving content and knowledge. We are by Microsoft. We certify Microsoft certified trainings. We train professionals to achieve the Microsoft certified training certification for being able to provide official training from Microsoft. But as well, we are developing content for trainers, okay, for giving that. And this content can be as well self-paced content to be used by other companies and to be used as the base of other for training. So this is we are going to offer the Microsoft Copilot for 365 course for managers in the following weeks. As well, we have another question that they have given is regarding we have a demo for to know how the training is delivered in the self-paced training model. We have this option 2 available, and this one is going to be available next week. Okay.
Okay, thank you. There was a question. Somebody asked if what recommendations do you have for a training class or content for beginners? What would you recommend to help people get started?
For beginners, I will
Yeah.
recommend the one. There are two trainings in our case that will be fundamentals of Microsoft 365 Copilot, which is the general course, or if you are doing some more activities in different departments, or you are engaged in a department level, I would advise to do the Microsoft 365 training for managers.